So, the first thing about British accent is that, of course, some of the words sound different. Tomato, for instance, or water, not water, I think, water. So actually the first sentence I worked on was to convert the sentence, can I have a glass of water, into, can I have a glass of water? Can you tell the difference? Or Harry Potter into Harry Potter. That would be the first few lines that I would recommend people to practice now in these lessons, because no matter how much vocabulary we have accumulated, how accurate our grammar can become, it doesn't matter, does it? All that matters is our utterance. It's what we sound like when we open our mouths and talk. This brings our attention to something that had bothered me a lot when I was still training myself in English, which is the accent. As I was born in Taiwan, when I was little, I was wondering one particular thing. What is the standard and correct way to speak English? Well, of course, born in Taiwan, I was under the impression that the American accent is the only authentic one. Whenever I watch movies, I couldn't help but wonder why the actors and actresses always sound a bit off, a bit different from each other. There's something very important. There is not one accent that can be said to be standard. Pursuing an accent that is standard or that is authentic can be futile, just a waste of time and a waste of your energy. So when I decided that my passion lies with Shakespeare, I was kind of determined that I should shed off all of my previously acquired pseudo-American accents, actually, and try to speak more, shall we say, pretentiously. So, the first thing about British accent is that, of course, some of the words sound different. Tomato, for instance, or water, not water, I think, water. So actually the first sentence I worked on was to convert the sentence, can I have a glass of water, into, can I have a glass of water? Can you tell the difference? Or Harry Potter into Harry Potter. That would be the first few lines that I would recommend people to practice. But then comes a trickier part, is the pronunciation of A. In American accents, you will say after school, yes, after. But in British English, it sounds like after school. After a class, a glass of water, for instance. So there are certain points when A will become not A, but A. However, I made the rookie mistakes of transforming every single A into R sounds. For instance, I am kind of envious of the number of fans that Ray has, but we cannot actually say that I'm envious of the number of fans that Ray has. Now, fun means fun. It doesn't mean fan. So there are certain points when A is still pronounced as A in British English. We take the vowels a bit more seriously. But the actual practices of using an accent is an entirely different matter. It actually incorporates elements such as the ups and downs in an entire sentence. We may call it intonations of the sentence, where we put emphasis in a sentence. And the problem of accent is actually a very intricate problem. We can start by practicing words, the pronunciation of individual words. In order to make it sound natural and fluent, we will inevitably have to refer to grammar, the syntax, and actually the meaning of each word, the vocabulary as we acquire them. We will have to put them into context, understand everything in the sentence, understand the elements in the sentence, and then we can decide which notes we would put in the passage to compose the most beauteous melody that will approximate what a native speaker would deem natural. To non-native speakers' ears, I may sound fluent and natural enough. However, it would take a Londoner only 3 seconds, perhaps 2 syllables, to tell that I am not a native. So I know my limitations. As a Taiwanese, I cannot hope to achieve 100% native fluency. However, as long as it sounds great enough for you, for yourself, it is enough. So this is my very short episode.